Hi, this is Chris. My presentation argues that attachment has very little to do with adult relationships. Adult relationships are complicated and diverse, and adult attachment theory does not accommodate this. There is a universality assumption within attachment theory, and if you don't measure up to the dominant narrative, you're somehow lacking. Hazen and Shaver's 87 model of romantic love as an attachment process has been socioculturally adopted as a truism. Here, we are using the Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion Wet Ass Pussy WAP song as a working example to show how using the language and ideas of attachment as some form of categorization technique to pass judgment, as is the case with this song, wildly misses the mark. One of the ways this is done is by the perpetuation of politics of respectability. This is a moralistic, self-policing tool used to maintain dominant discourses. WAP challenges this notion through its lyrics and visuals. Now, to give fair warning, the language used in this song has been deemed offensive by many. However, language is a tool used to convey a particular and strong message. The intention here is not to offend, rather to elucidate, explore, educate, and enjoy. Since its release in early August 2020, WAP has gone gold or platinum in 14 countries. To date, the video has had over 353 million views on YouTube. Wet Ass Pussy is about cisgendered female sexuality and its relation to capitalism, patriarchy, the politics of respectability, and questions of feminism. A former stripper, she initially achieved fame via social media and television. She has interviewed big names in politics, such as Biden and Sanders. She currently is one of the most influential female rappers, worth an estimated $24 million, and has spoken widely about the challenges of balancing work and motherhood. WAP was also one of the most polemicised songs of 2020. In the US, it was criticised by conservatives for, amongst other things, promoting fatherless homes. In the opposite camp, it was adopted by AOC as a synonym for women against patriarchy. Now consider the widely tweeted Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, or what happens when children are raised without God and without a strong father figure. Snoop Dogg and Black Sabbath's Geezer Butler both piously slammed the song for being too sexually explicit. Now, one of the main reasons people took umbrage to WAP was because it flipped the classic relationship model and promoted non-normative attitudes towards sexuality. As Foucault put it, all of those who live outside of social norms experience forms of marginalisation and stigmatisation. WAP shows us that this is as true today as when Foucault wrote that 30 years ago. Thanks to the global influence of social media, WAP has become a zeitgeist. That this song promotes a certain attachment style cannot be denied. Which one you think it is depends on your point of view. Now, the backlash linked the song's message to pornography and prostitution, reinforcing the biased link between female sexuality and sexual deviance. Conservatives called the song one big advertisement for promiscuity, slamming it for being offensive, degrading, and that it was the reason Planned Parenthood initiatives targeted black communities. Liberals lauded it for its sex-positive, empowering, female pleasure-led messages, challenging the norm of a woman's identity being tied or attached to men's. Within Hazen and Shaver's classic theory, the ideal of secure till death do you part romantic heteronormative attachment is so strongly implied. It seems that ambivalently attached adults report falling in love often, whereas securely attached adults experience romantic love as enduring. Running throughout the theory is the message that secure equals desired and ambivalent, avoidant, or even heaven forbid disorganized, undesired. What upset many was that WAP seemed to promote undesirable relationships. Next, we're going to have a look at how classifications of adult attachment can be manipulated, depending on the agenda, using WAP's lyrics. Behaviour traits within an ambivalent or anxious preoccupied attachment relationship include reluctance to become close, neediness, the use of controlling behaviour to manipulate perceived threats, difficulty in maintaining boundaries, a constant need for reassurance and attention. Think high energy pokey. Consider some of the example lyrics. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Bribery. He got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Manipulation. Bribery, goading, showing off, demanding attention, manipulation. None of these are desirable behaviours. Well, could WAP be seen as a display of avoidant, aka dismissive attachment style? If we consider some of the classic avoidant behaviors, such as problems creating or maintaining intimacy, unwillingness to show or share feelings, being independent to the point of rejecting others, a preference for fleeting casual relationships. Think of avoidant as, I bury my emotions deep inside, I protect myself by being defensive. There are plenty of examples in the lyrics. I don't cook, I don't clean, independent to the point of rejection. He got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Follow the money, the impersonal. Again, the avoidance displayed in behaviours such as rejection, hiding and preferring money over emotional connection are really not that desirable either. Academics have written about how Cardi B promotes an embodied style of feminism. Feminism in its true sense of gender equality. Women can write, produce, compose, rap just as well as any man, and it takes a certain level of security to take on those particular challenges artistically. Now consider the behaviour and relationship characteristics of secure attachment. Trust, high self-esteem, the ability to share feelings, enjoying intimate relationships, the ability to set boundaries, the ability to maintain emotional balance. If we change the angle of the narrative, then this entire song is an anthem to secure women owning their feelings and bodies, enjoying intimate relationships and setting boundaries. For example, I do a Kegel while it's inside, enjoy intimacy. Look, I need a hard hitter, need a deep stroker, expressing needs and desires. If you don't hang, then you can't bang, sets boundaries. These last 3 slides are not me not being able to make up my mind. Rather, they speak to some flawed assumptions commonly made around adult attachment. They also go some way to show how a psychological theory can be misapplied and manipulated as a means to cast judgment and fulfill agendas. As mentioned, there is a school of thought which runs along the lines of, if you have a non-conforming relationship style, particularly one which is seen as playing around the edges of criminality, then you're somehow damaged, and most likely because of some form of childhood attachment, daddy, issues. Now, disorganized attachment includes fluctuating from one extreme to the other, swinging between avoidant and dismissive, being insensitive, controlling, selfish, fearful, or antisocial. Think of it as I love you, but I hate you. I need you, so I'm going to hurt you before you can hurt me. Possibly both sadistic and or masochistic tendencies. Remember, BDSM was only depathologized within the DSM in 2013. BDSM is not automatically caused by childhood trauma, nor is it a mental illness. Yet the lyrics are rife with examples. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Sexual freak or DSM style freak? Put him on his knees, give him something to believe in. Dominating. You can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. Hinting at masochism. Of all of the attachment styles for adults, disorganized is regarded with the most suspicion and often the harshest of judgments. There seem to be some errors in how attachment theory is applied outside of clinics and lecture theatres. As the reading for week 9 by Slade puts it, the suggestion that attachment is shorthand for relationship is both incorrect and incomplete. Yet this is one of the most pervasive misunderstandings. Not all relationships are attachments, and not all attachments are relationships. Remember the cars? Now, attachment theory was primarily designed as a therapeutic tool. Its aim was to support the development of the therapeutic alliance in order to allow healing to occur. Adult attachment, like relationships, is organic and messy, as any therapist will tell you. Attachment theory was never meant to be used to judge, yet it has been hijacked to reinforce dominant narratives to maintain hegemonic norms of gender roles, child-rearing responsibility, sexuality, expression. It also explains why certain brands of conservatives get so upset at an artistic piece, such as Wet Ass Pussy, which challenges these norms. Is it the accuser rather than the accused that is lacking in security? There is a long history of female artists being vilified for being sexually non-conforming. The taboo of the bad mother persists. Attachment theory does not help matters. Bizarrely, simply singing about sexuality invites opinions questioning the female artist's worth. Yet, when read as positive messages of sexuality, empowerment, and emotional security, the interpretation of WAP is the polar opposite. The main take-home point is that attachment theory can and is often manipulated into a tool to vilify women around their most socially sensitive aspects, their sexuality, sanity, purity, and motherhood. Used right, attachment theory has directly helped countless people in therapy and scores of children, mothers, and fathers through educational programs such as the Sure Start. Used poorly, attachment theory has been used as a social construction supporting political and gender conservatism, putting untold pressures on women to conform to the impossibly idealised image of the 1950s mother and housewife, essentially adhering to the politics of respectability.